Hello, dear students. How are you? I believe you all are having a good time and you are enjoying sound health and mind. Welcome to Amar Ghore Amar School. Welcome to English class. Let's begin today's lesson. Now, in the previous lesson, we have learned that sentences can be classified according to their purpose or meaning. And they were assertive, which is again classified into two categories, affirmative and negative. Interrogative, which is question. Imperative sentence, optative sentence, and exclamatory sentence. Today, we are going to learn another category, sentences. Sentences can also be classified according to their structure or construction or the number of clauses. Today, we are going to learn these categories. So, let us see what we are going to learn today. We are going to learn simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. And we are going to learn how number of clauses affect the structure of sentences. So, without much delay, let us begin. The first one, simple sentence. Now, you see a simple sentence has one independent clause and no subordinate clauses. That means it has one subject and one predicate. If you look at these examples, it is going to be absolutely clear to you. First sentence, I know his address. This is the subject. And this is going to be the predicate. One subject, one predicate. In another way, you can see there is only one clause, which is absolutely independent because this clause, which is again a part of this sentence, is giving a complete thought. Therefore, it is independent clause, which matches with the characteristics of simple sentence. Second example, Bangladesh has some beautiful tourist spots. Again, this is also a sentence which has only one independent clause, only one subject and only one predicate. So, this is going to be simple sentence. In next slides, I am going to discuss more about the construction of simple sentences. Let us join. Now, dear students, have a look at these characteristics of simple sentence. First of all, a simple sentence may have a compound subject. Not a simple subject, it can also have a compound subject. If you look at this example, the tea gardens in Sylhet and the forests of Sundarbans, absolutely compound subject. The first part is the tea gardens in Sylhet and the second part is the forests of the Sundarbans. Absolutely two different contents, two different ideas having one compound subject. You see the tea gardens, something else, and the forest, totally different ideas. They're totally making one compound subject. So, the tea gardens in Sylhet and the forests of the Sundarbans are favorite tourist attraction. The predicate is absolutely simple, our favorite tourist attractions, but the subject is compound. Now, secondly, a simple sentence may also have a compound predicate. If we look at this example, we, which is absolutely a simple subject, one content, one idea, we planned to go to Sylhet, but then went to the Sundarbans instead. So, two parts of predicate are present there. You can see, planned to go to Sylhet, but then went to the Sundarbans. Two ideas combining a compound predicate, which is very interesting. And lastly, we can see that a simple sentence may have both compound subject and compound predicate. If you look at this example, Pawan and Sarah, two different persons altogether making a compound subject. Pawan and Sarah brought some bananas and fed the monkeys. Again, we have a compound predicate. Brought some bananas is a part of one predicate. And also we have other part of the predicate which is fed the monkeys. In fact, it is another content. It is another idea. Therefore, altogether brought some bananas and fed the monkeys, becoming one compound predicate. So we can see that simple sentence have compound subject. Simple sentence may have compound predicate. It can also have a compound subject and also compound predicate together. I believe you are not going to forget it. Now let us participate in an activity where we will find out whether the subject is compound or the predicate is compound. Let us participate in an activity. So dear students, this is going to be your activity we are going to find out compound subject or compound predicate. Now, the first sentence, the manager and his secretary went out to lunch. We can see that there is only a simple predicate over there, went out to lunch, only one idea. But if you look at the first part of the sentence, you can understand that it has a compound subject, which is the manager and his secretary. So this is where we have found out that the manager and his secretary, it is the compound subject of this particular simple sentence. Second one, the manager finished his ice cream and ordered for a coffee. You see, the manager, this is going to be the subject, so it is absolutely not a compound subject. It is a very simple subject, one person. But if you look at the other part of the sentence, you can easily understand that it has a compound predicate, which is finished his ice cream and ordered for a coffee. Two different ideas. Finished his ice cream, one idea. Second one, ordered for a coffee, another idea. So this is absolutely compound predicate. Now the third sentence, Hassan, Kareem, and Shahana. Very easy, you can understand Hassan, Kareem, and Shahana. Three different persons. So altogether, they combine one compound subject. So we can underline Hassan, Kareem, and Shahana as the compound subject of this particular simple sentence. Last one. Jogging strengthens the heart and lungs, but it is hard on the knees and ankles. What do you think of the sentence? If you see, I have underlined strengthens the heart and lungs. It is one part of the predicate, and there is another part of the predicate, which is another idea, but is hard on the knees and ankles. So this is going to be a compound predicate because our subject jogging is one idea, one particular noun, one particular abstract noun. So this is going to be a very simple subject. The predicate, it has two ideas. You see, strengthens the heart and lungs, one idea. Second one is hard on the knees and ankles. So we have compound predicate for this particular subject. So we can see that simple sentences may have compound subject, compound predicate. It can also sometimes have a compound subject and compound predicate together. Now, my dear students, second category, second kind of sentence, the compound sentence. If you see, a compound sentence has two or more independent clauses, but no subordinate clauses. So it may have two or even more independent clauses. If you look at these examples, it is going to be absolutely clear to you. The first one, I like jogging. This is an absolutely independent clause. I like jogging. It has a subject and a predicate, and it is giving a complete thought, which is an independent clause. And the second part, but I like swimming. We can see I like swimming better. I like swimming better, another independent clause. If we separate these two clauses, it is going to give a complete thought. It is going to give a complete idea. Therefore, this clause and this clause giving a complete idea, being an independent clause, they are the part of this compound sentence, which matches with the definition. This compound sentence, I like jogging, but I like swimming better, it is a combination of two independent clauses. Very simple. Second one, Razak graduated last year and now he works in a private bank. Again, you can see this first part, Razak graduated last year. It is an independent clause. It has a subject and it has a predicate, which is giving a complete thought, complete idea. Therefore, this is an independent clause. And he works in a private bank. Again, it is another independent clause. So we are combining two or more independent clauses with the help of correlative conjunctions, maybe and, but, or, etc., etc. We will have a look at these more formations later, but at first, let us understand the idea. Compound sentence means two or more independent clauses. I believe you have understood it. Dear students, third category, third kind, complex sentence. A complex sentence consists of one independent clause and one or more than one dependent clause. that is subordinate clause. Have a look at this example. We had lunch at the student cafeteria. It is an independent clause because it gives a complete thought. We had lunch at the student cafeteria. Absolutely independent clause. But the second part, when we visited the college, it is a dependent clause. It is a subordinate clause. So we can see that a complex sentence consists of one independent clause, maybe one or more subordinate clauses. Second example, he gave her a pair of bangles which belonged to his mother. Here, which belonged to his mother is the independent clause, is the subordinate clause. And what is the dependent one? The dependent clause is he gave her a pair of bangles. So, it is very simple. The complex sentence consists of one independent clause and one or more than one dependent clauses. Now, my dear students, let us participate in an activity where we will have 4 sentences and we have to find out the dependent and independent clauses and also locate the connector. See, there are 4 sentences. The first one, illiteracy is a curse. Here, I am going to circle the independent clause. The first part of this sentence, illiteracy is a curse, is giving us a complete thought, a complete idea. Therefore, it is independent clause. But the second part, which is the cause of ignorance, is going to be the dependent or subordinate clause because it itself cannot give us a complete idea. If you say, which is the root cause of ignorance, it is incomplete. So therefore, this is the subordinate clause. And here, which is the connector. So I am going to circle the independent clauses, underline the dependent or subordinate clauses, and make a box around the connector. Second sentence. If a man is illiterate, you can easily understand if a man is illiterate is going to be the dependent or subordinate clause because it is not giving us a complete idea. But he gets little opportunity to contribute to the society is giving us a complete thought or complete idea. Therefore, this particular part, he gets little opportunity to contribute to the society, is going to be our independent clause. Very easy. Third one, Abdul was an illiterate man. It is giving us a complete thought, complete idea. Therefore, this is our independent clause. Abdul was an illiterate man, but he was very eager to learn about things. So when we say he was very eager to learn about things, it is also giving us a complete idea. Therefore, this particular part, he was very eager to learn about things, is going to be another independent clause. And here we have but as the connector of the 2 simple sentences, of the 2 independent clauses. So we are easily identifying dependent clauses, independent clauses, and also connectors. Now the last one, although it was difficult for him, this is not giving us a complete thought. Therefore, this is going to be the dependent or subordinate clause. Although it was difficult for him. And the next part, he continued going to school. This particular part is giving us a complete idea. Therefore, this is going to be the independent clause. So very simple. We can now easily understand independent clauses, dependent clauses, and also we know how to locate the connectors. Now, dear students, I am going to very quickly tell you the structures of simple sentences. If you look here, simple sentence may contain present, past, and perfect participles. By gerund, without gerund, infinitive, that is maybe to adjective, to verb, and also adjective enough to verb or in order to, that is infinitive to. the use of infinitives. Dear students, let us have a look at some examples of simple sentences. And by looking at those sentences, we can easily understand its formations. See the first one, taking the money, the beggar went away. This is an example of present participle, which is verb plus ing formation. It is a non-finite verb, and with the use of these non-finite verbs, we can easily form simple sentences. The second one, by working hard. Here, the by gerund rule is applied. By working hard, he succeeded in life. It is also a beautiful example of simple sentence. Remember, by gerund. We can also have without gerund. See, without studying hard, you will not pass the exam. So almost the same idea, but when you want to write something contrary to by doing something, by working something, then use without and use a not. Then the meaning is going to be intact. Now, the fourth one, he is strong enough to carry the load. You can see to carry, which is an example of infinitive. See, adjective, enough, and then to plus verb. This is also a beautiful example of simple sentence, which is in fact the use of infinitive. And the last one, number 5, in case of your failure. This is in fact a prepositional phrase. In case of your failure to move, you will die. So these are the very common uses of simple sentences. Remember, present participle, by gerund, without gerund, infinitive, and prepositional phrase. Now some more examples of compound sentences. You see, there are 6 sentences. The first one, he is tall and he can reach it. By the use of this connector, we have 2 independent clauses. He is tall and he can reach it. Second one, study regularly or you will not pass. Use of connector and 2 independent clauses. Very simple. Third one, he is not only rich but also wise. You see, he is not only rich but also wise. It means he is rich, he is wise. So we are combining those 2 independent clauses with the help of not only and but also. Fourth one, he is rich, yet he wants more. See the first one, he is rich, is an independent clause. He wants more is also an independent clause. And we have added those 2 sentences with the help of this connector. Number 5, he is poor but happy. It means he is poor, he is happy. These are the 2 sentences. And when we want to combine them, we use this but as a connector because it is a contrast. He is poor, he is happy. Usually we think if someone is poor, he cannot be happy. So this is a common idea among our society. So it is a contrast. Therefore, we have used but. And the last one, he is not only honest but also brave. Again, we have this particular idea, use of not only and but also. And here we have combined 2 independent clauses. He is honest, he is brave. And now we have made a compound sentence. Now, my dear students, last of all, some examples of complex sentences. Have a look at these examples. See the first one, as he was undersized. This is our dependent or subordinate clause. So we have one subordinate clause and the next part, he could not ride the horse. This is our independent clause. So when we have one independent clause and one subordinate clause, we form complex sentence. Very easy. Second one, if you study regularly, this is our dependent or subordinate clause because it itself is not giving us a complete thought. When you say, if you study regularly, it is incomplete. So, to complete the sentence, you have used this particular independent clause. So, combining this independent and dependent clause, we have formed complex sentence. Now, the third one, though he is poor, this is again the dependent or subordinate clause. So, this is the subordinate clause and this is the independent clause. Therefore, with the help of these 2 clauses, one dependent and one independent clause, we have formed complex sentence. See, number 4 and 5, we have the uses of WH connectors, WH adjective or WH adverbs. See, number 4, he saw the snakes which were swimming. So when we say which were swimming, this is going to be the dependent or subordinate clause. And the first part, he saw the snakes, it is giving us a complete idea. Therefore, it is independent clause. So, independent and dependent clause making complex sentence. Last one, I don't know when he will return. Here, when he will return is going to be the independent clause. And the first part, I do not know. In fact, here we are talking about I do not know the time. So this is going to be the independent clause, and the next part is dependent or subordinate clause. And this is how we form complex sentences. Dear students, let's take part in an activity. In this activity, we have to fill up the gaps by using these words: and, but, or, both, and, who, when, how, not only but also, therefore, if, whether, because, as, so that, since, though, although, before, after. We will be using those connectors and make complete sentences, make complete sentences. Let us find out. We will go one by one. There will be altogether 10 sentences. The first one, Razia is a garment worker, gap, works from morning to late night. It should be who, because we have to relate garment worker with the who relative pronoun. So, Razia is a garment worker who works from morning to late night. Next one, after her father's death, she became helpless. We can easily understand when he became helpless, after the death of her father. So, after should be the best one. Third one, she had to leave school dash her mother could not afford to bear her expenses. It is a kind of reason. So we can use since, we can use because or as. So we have used as her mother could not afford to bear her expenses, because her mother could not afford to bear the expenses, or since her mother could not afford to bear her expenses. Next one, gap, she works hard, she does not get enough money. After working hard, she is not getting enough money. It is a contrast. So, though she works hard, she does not get enough money to support her family and herself. Next sentence, in school, she was gap, a good student, gap, a good singer. It means she was both a good student and also a good singer. So we can write, in school, she was both a good student and a good singer. We can also use not only but also. Let us use it. So, in school, she was not only a good student but also a good singer. More sentences. Sentence number 6. If her mother married her off, gap, she was only 14. So, we are talking about a particular time, when. So let us use when. Her mother married her off when she was only 14. When her husband died at the age of 20, she had no alternative but to join a garment factory. So it is a contrast. She wanted to do something else, but because of her husband's death, she is forced to join a garments factory. Next one. She works there and at the same time studies in school program of Bangladesh Open University. We are adding to information. So, and is going to be the best connector. Next one. Her teachers helped her a lot, gap, she could do well in the examination. So we are talking about a result. So let us use so that. Her teachers helped her a lot so that she could do well in the examination. And the last one, she struggled hard and came out successful in getting her degree. We are having two ideas together. She struggled hard, this is one idea, and the second idea is she came out successful. It matches with the first part. Therefore, and is going to be the best connector. I'm sure you are going to use these connectors in your everyday life and also in your academic life. Now, my dear students, we are almost at the end of our today's class. Let us recap what we have learned today. We have learned the uses and formations of simple, complex, and compound sentences. And in simple sentence, we have found out that a simple sentence has only one independent clause. But in compound sentence, it has two or more independent clauses. And in complex sentence, we have found out that a complex sentence must have one independent clause and one or more dependent or subordinate clauses. I believe you can now easily form simple, compound, and complex sentences and use them in your educational life. Now is the time for homework. This is going to be your homework kinds of sentences. You have to identify which one is a simple sentence, which one is a complex sentence, and which one is compound. You know the structure already. So now you can easily identify those kinds of sentences. I wish you good luck with this homework. Remember, when school opens, submit this homework to your teacher. That's all for now. Stay well, stay safe, and please keep learning English. Thank you all.